Welcome to the Wealth Transfer with TC. Today, I'm going to give you guys a prediction, maybe even a prophecy, and you're going to hear it from here first, at least in the way that it's being presented. Now, I'm going to say this, that I believe that Donald Trump is going to announce at some point a universal basic healthcare system that's going to give all Americans free healthcare. And I'm also going to share some information that I believe that Donald J. Trump is going to give Americans some type of universal basic income. Alaska does it, Saudi Arabia does it, other countries do it, and they usually do it under a sovereign wealth fund. Saudi Arabia, they get free college, they get all types of free benefits, health care, and I believe that the United States is getting ready to head into that direction. Right now, Trump is trying to deal with certain things concerning the economy and the tariffs and trying to put everything on an even playing field. And there's a lot of things that Trump has to do first before this manifests. And I'm going to get into some of those. But I want you guys to hear from his own mouth what he's saying about some of these things.
What's your plan for Obamacare?
Obamacare is going to be repealed and replaced. Obamacare is a disaster. If you look at what's going on with premiums, where they're up 45, 50, 55%.
So how do you fix it?
There's many different ways, by the way. Everybody's got to be covered. This is an un-Republican thing for me to say, because a lot of times they say, no, the lower 25%, they can't afford private. But
universal health care.
I am going to take care of everybody. I don't care if it costs me votes or not. Everybody's going to be taken care of much better than they're taken care of now.
The uninsured person?
Right.
Is going to be taken care of.
They're going to be taken care of.
How?
I would make a deal with existing hospitals to take care of people. And you know what? This is probably...
Make a deal. Who pays for it?
The government's going to pay for it, but we're going to save so much money on the other side. But for the most part, it's going to be a private plan, and people are going to be able to go out and negotiate great plans with lots of different competition, with lots of competitors, with great companies, and they can have their doctors, they can have their plans, they can have everything.
He said he wants to take care of everyone for free, at least on a basic level, folks. So we should be supporting this. I mean, don't you think that this is what God would want? Right? I would think he would desire this for everyone. So that is coming. And he said it wasn't very popular. And he didn't care. How come people aren't talking about that? We know the media definitely did not really focus on that. And he didn't talk about it a lot because, it was unpopular, but he had to get into office in order for this to take place. So this is coming. And when it comes to Medicare and Medicaid and what goes on with the elderly and all the waste that happens with that, and that's why everything is going to be audited. With all the money that they're going to save every year from these audits is going to be able, just probably that alone, will be able to fund a universal healthcare system. When it comes to the universal basic income, everybody knows that AI is coming. Everybody knows that AI is going to replace jobs. Every government has talked about that. And so there's going to come a point in time when governments are going to have to support their citizens when it comes to the elimination of jobs, right? As the population grows and the job markets start to shrink, once AI is implemented across the majority of the world, it's going to have a major effect. But I want you guys to listen to what he says about taking care of American citizens.
Instead of taxing our citizens to enrich other countries, we will tariff and tax foreign countries to enrich our citizens. For this purpose, we are establishing the External Revenue Service to collect all tariffs, duties, and revenues. It will be massive amounts of money pouring into our treasury, coming from foreign sources.
All right, so he's talking about enriching the citizens of the United States. So how is he going to do that?
We're going to have a sovereign wealth fund, which we've never had. We have a lot of things that create wealth, and you're seeing that over the last 2 weeks. I think we've created more wealth. Other people have created de-wealth, the people, my predecessors. We're creating a lot of wealth. Scott, maybe you'd like to say something about it?
We're going to stand this thing up within the next 12 months. We're going to monetize the asset side of the U.S. balance sheet for the American people. We're going to put the assets to work, and I think it's going to be very exciting. We're going to study best practices that's done around the world. It'll be a combination of liquid assets, assets that we have in this country as we work to bring them out for the American people.
So other countries have sovereign wealth funds, and they're much smaller countries, and they're not the United States. We have tremendous potential in this country, tremendous. You're seeing that, what's happened just in a short period of time. And as an example, TikTok, we're going to be doing something perhaps with TikTok, and perhaps not. If we make the right deal, we'll do it, otherwise we won't. But I have the right to do that, and we might put that in the sovereign wealth fund, whatever we make, or if we do a partnership with very wealthy people, a lot of options, but we could put that as an example in the fund, and we have a lot of other things that we could put in the fund. And I think in a short period of time, we'd have one of the biggest funds, and you know, some of them are pretty large, I must tell you. Some of like the Saudi Arabia fund is on the large side, but eventually we'll catch it. But we're going to create a lot of wealth for the fund, and I think it's about time that this country had a sovereign wealth fund, and these two gentlemen and some others are going to work with them very closely, and they'll be heading it up, and they're going to do a great job. Two highly respected people that have done unbelievably well in the world, in the real world. So that's a big deal, huh?
Okay, so how do you enrich your citizens? And one of the things that Trump is doing when it comes to Doge and cleaning up all the corruption and cleaning up all the mess across all government agencies and institutions and auditing them and finding trillions of dollars of waste. If Trump reveals these plans, now we know the universal healthcare system is coming, but that would be a big blow to the Democratic Party. And once you have something that is taken care of and for free, it'll be very hard to convince voters to start paying for it down the road in the future. And that goes with the universal basic income too as well. Because if people are getting a certain amount every single month, and then somebody wants to start messing with it, people aren't going to have it. So it's going to keep politicians in line because their voters don't want their money messed with. So we know with the Sovereign Wealth Fund, Alaska has something similar. He mentioned Saudi Arabia. And guess what? Saudi Arabia has free healthcare, free college, all types of other benefits. So maybe he wants to do better than Saudi Arabia. And why not? Every country should use their natural resources to enrich its own citizens. That's exactly what we should be doing. So the Sovereign Wealth Fund is going to take 12 months. And who knows what type of announcements are going to come along with that. And the media, you know, what are they going to say? And this is one reason why I support Doge fully. Because we're going to audit every single government department. We're going to cut out all the corruption and all the fraud and all the mismanaged money. And it's going to save trillions of dollars that could go right back into the people's pockets where it should have been to begin with. This most definitely could not happen without the government being audited. So Trump has to put us in position for those things to happen. His first few weeks, it's been tough, it's been rough, especially concerning the markets, but he's doing everything to make it an even playing field. So let's wait and see what happens. And, you know, the markets and the economy and all these changes that are coming, it's going to be rough, folks. And some things it's just going to get wild. You're going to see the political landscape change. We still haven't seen the release of the JFK, RFK, MLK, and the Epstein files yet. So things are about to get insane. You got cryptocurrency getting ready to explode. You got the markets getting ready to take off. Short squeezes are taking place. 2025 is going to be crazy. So you guys tell me what you think. Do you think that we're going to see Trump present a universal healthcare system and a universal basic income system? That'll be interesting to see.